We remain in a very dark winter. Infection rates are up 34%. More people are being hospitalized because of COVID than ever before. But I know there are things we can do, and we can do them now. For example, the vaccines offer so much hope, but the vaccine rollout in the United States has been a dismal failure thus far. First, we will immediately work with states to open up vaccinations to more priority groups. The second thing we're going to change, if we're getting more people vaccinated, then we need more vaccination sites. That's where we're going to harness the full resources of the federal government to establish thousands of community vaccination centers. The third change we're going to make is we're going to fully activate the pharmacies across the country to get the vaccination into more arms as quickly as possible. The fourth thing we're going to do is we're going to use the full strength of the federal government to ramp up supply of the vaccines. As I said before, we'll use the Defense Production Act to work with private industry to accelerate the making of materials needed to supply and administer the vaccine. Fifth, we will always be honest and transparent about where we stand, both the good news as well as the bad. This will be one of the most challenging operational efforts ever undertaken by our country. But you have my word that we will manage the hell out of this operation.
Shalom, call law Yahweh Shimel Shai. Double honors to my teachers, starting with the apostles and elders and all the men on down of Great Millstone. Yahweh Shimel Shai, Barakatham to the sincere Akim and Akwatim that believe in the sincerity and in truth, right? And hearing it from the horse's mouth himself, they're still on this thing about this dark winter, all right? And this time, he even went as far as to say and talk about how this operation, this is an operation that they're getting ready to conduct, because even more so, lately they've been doing a lot of damage control, with the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, which this is who they're trying to get to, because they're with all the information that's come out in the history concerning these devils and what they've done to our people, all right, and basically they're trying to sweep it under the rug, and they're trying to downplay all the atrocities that they've done and repair the damage, and this is why because if you've been paying attention, again, Joe Biden, he's talking about how he wants to more so focus on, and I quote, so-called, he wants to focus more so on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, his words, all right, to get these vaccines. So, part of Biden's plan, the first 100 days if he gets in office, his administration, he wants to mandate the mask. And, this clip here that I played, he wants to open up more centers, more for people, and even more so minorities, to get the vaccines, all right, because this devil, man, because like I said, man, this is not more than the dragon speaking like a lamb, coming in that humble spirit, because the trap is getting ready to get set for you so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, all right. Esau's getting ready to set the snare, all right. So I'm gonna play this. I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I'm gonna play part of this other video here.
And I will assure you this week, we're going to ask you to keep the faith and keep following what we know works. One of our 100-day challenges is to mask up everyone. The day we're inaugurated, I'm going to ask you to mask up for the next 100 days.
And again, because he keeps mentioning, him getting inaugurated, the first 100 days, how he wants to conduct these plans or this operation, right? And you got to ask yourself, why does he keep throwing that number out there, 100 days? And one of the elder brothers, man, he kind of put the pieces to the puzzle, because 100 days, and I could be wrong on this. I got to go back and check and fact check it, but if I'm not mistaken, 100 days from the time come inauguration, if Joe Biden actually gets in office, 100 days from there, I believe, will lead to May 1st, if I'm not mistaken. If you know the history, May 1st, I believe the year was 1776, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I have to fact check that. I gotta go back and check my numbers on it. But basically, that was when the so-called Illuminati, what you would call the Illuminati, was established and things of that nature. So you gotta ask yourself, from the time that Joe Biden is in office, in the first 100 days, man, is he gonna come up with some do they have some type of sinister plan or whatever that they want to get done? Are they going to try to conduct some type of operation or whatever the case, man, in that time span? But again, man, just wanted to put that out there, because like I said, man, he keeps mentioning the 100 days, the first 100 days, the 100 days, the 100 days. He keeps mentioning the first 100 days he's in office. So just wanted to put that out there real quick, but I'm going to play this out some more.
This is not a political issue. And I will issue an executive order to require masks where I have the authority to do that. For federal workers, and federal property, on interstate travel, like trains and planes. We'll also be working with mayors and governors in red states and blue states and ask them to require masking up in their cities and their states. Look, I hope we now.
So you see, man, basically he's going to put that into law, with this whole face mask thing, wearing thing, and because like it's been brought out, man, the elders, man, the elder brothers, going into this about how if Joe Biden gets in office, man, he'll more than likely be the guy to do it, man, because unlike this guy Trump, which he's the devil as well, but unlike this guy Trump, Trump, it appears that he's like he has his own agenda, like he's trying to do his own thing, and just speaking as a man, this could be why they decided to they may have decided to get him out of there, because like I said, man, Joe Biden, man, he's with it, he's talked about a new world order and things of that nature. So he's with the whole New World Order agenda program, all right? And like I said, because he could very well be the guy to do it, and like I said, because Joe Biden, he's more so, see, Trump, he wasn't with the whole shutdowns and lockdowns and things of that nature, but Joe, again, like he's been saying, he's with the whole face mandate, all right? He's with the lockdowns and things of that nature. He's with the whole New World Order agenda, all right? So like I said, he could very well be the guy to do it, which, like I said, because if this guy Joe Biden gets in office, man, that smells nothing but trouble for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and African Indians. All right, here it is. He's talking about hope with these vaccines. All right, and like the scriptures say, man, putting your hope and trust in Egypt, all right, it's going to be to your detriment. It's going to be to your shame. It's going to be in vain. All right, so slacking for rambling. I'm like, let this play out some more.
No. This is not a political issue. This is about saving lives. I know it's become a partisan issue, but what a stupid thing for it to happen. This is a patriotic act. We're asking you. We're in a war with this virus. And experts say and have shown that wearing a mask from now until April will save as many as 50,000 lives.
When in fact, all right, dealing with those masks, in fact, all right, it's actually doing more harm than good, because being that these masks, wearing these masks, all right, basically you're inhaling, wearing this face covering, you're inhaling the basically the air that you're breathing out, you're basically, inhaling those toxins, so to say, right back into your system, which is basically is compromising your immune system. All right. And like some of the other brothers said, man, because they know for the most part, they're not going to get this whole mass what is it, the mass herdity thing. They know people for the most part aren't really going to be with it. So come time, when it's all said and done, all right, because they can actually start releasing the real deal, and being that people's immune system are already compromised from wearing these damn face masks everywhere. Being that with that people's immune system's already compromised, they could very well release a real plague, and that's when you could really start seeing bodies drop.
Frankly, it was shocking to see members of the Congress while the Capitol was under siege by a deadly mob of thugs refused to wear a mask while they were in secure locations. I'm so proud of my congresswoman right here in the state of Delaware, Lisa Brunt Rochester, trying to hand out masks while people are lying on the floor, huddled up, and a Republican colleagues refusing to put them on. What the hell's the matter with them? It's time to grow up. Result? At least 4 members of Congress to date, including a cancer survivor, now have COVID-19 who were in those rooms. For God's sake, wear a mask if not for yourself, for your loved ones, for your country. These are real matters of life and death. We need you to stick with hand washing, social distancing, and avoid indoor gatherings with people outside your own household. We'll be a partner to the states and cities. So where things are working, we'll help do more of the good work. And when things can improve, we'll bring more resources to bear to get folks tested and vaccinated. I promise you, we're going to work closely with nonprofits and with the private sector, who we know all want to partner with us in this effort. The more people we vaccinate, and the faster we do it, the sooner we can put this pandemic behind us. And the sooner we can build our economy back better and get back to our lives and to our loved ones. As we're seeing during this pandemic, we can't solve our problems as a divided nation. The only way we come through this is if we come through together as Americans, fellow Americans, and as the United States of America. Vice President-elect Harris and I ran on that vision. Starting at noon on Wednesday, that's exactly how we're going to govern, and ask for your help. God bless you all and keep you safe, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Okay, Slaki again, because what I was looking for, because he mentioned, like the first clip that I played, opening up more vaccination centers, working with the states, working with the, private sectors and pharmacies and things of that nature. But even more so because he mentioned how first priority for these vaccines was, like I mentioned earlier, in his words, he said, getting these vaccines out for the minority communities. And I believe he even goes as far as to say blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's what let me play this out just to see.
So another day, another press conference from President-elect Joe Biden, not taking reporter questions, but outlining that new vaccine plan. So let's break down some of the takeaways, and I hit on a lot of those before they even were mentioned by Biden, but People 65 and older and essential workers are going to be the priority for this new vaccine distribution plan. Biden said that he plans to implement more vaccination sites in communities that have been hit hardest. That means rural, Black, Latino communities.
Yes. So you see, that's what I was looking for. I played all that just to, that was the point. All right, let me play that back.
He plans to implement more vaccination sites in communities that have been hit hardest. That means rural, Black, Latino communities, people who have really gotten this virus and gotten it bad. He said that he will implement mobile clinics in trying to make, again, 100 million vaccinations in his first 100 days. That's what he's saying here. He said that he will be activating pharmacies across the country to get Americans vaccinated, and chain pharmacies as well. So he thinks that will ramp it up. He said that he wants to ramp up production of supplies for the vaccine through the Defense Production Act.
So yeah, okay, the point has been made. Slackhead, you have to, listen through all that. But again, like she mentioned, because that was part of this guy's that's part of his plan. The first 100 days he's in office, expand production. That's why he said he was going to activate the Defense Production Act to ramp up supplies and things of that nature. He's going to open up more, work with pharmacies and community centers and things of that nature for communities hit the hardest. All right, and like I said, like she mentioned, all right, he quoted, like he said, Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right, so again, this what is it? What does it say? Let me go to it because I feel I've talked enough. Where's it at? Because these devils, man. Because like I quoted, the dragon speaking like a. Oh, actually, I have it saved up. All right. But the the dragon speaking like a speaking like a lamb. Coming in that humble and docile spirit, right? But nevertheless, man, like the scriptures say, man, war is in this devil's heart, all right? And they're getting ready to conduct this operation on your so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. So, didn't know I had to say it up, but okay. Revelation 13 and 7, it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All right. So again, because, hey man, like it says in, like it's been quoted a lot in Revelations 12 and 12, Esau getting ready to come down with that great wrath. All right. And like the first clip that I played. All right. Cause he mentioned again with the dark winter. All right. So they're getting ready to come down, man. They already got the troops, the troops out here, and they're mobilizing the more and more the military. All right, so because more and more, man, you see how the pieces are coming together, man. Because like I read here, man, they're getting ready to make that they're getting ready to make war with the saints, man. Because like when you read in where's that I believe that would be in that's in Genesis. Where would that be at? Where it talks about the enmity. Going all the way back to the garden with the serpent. All right. So Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and this is when the serpent beguiled Eve. All right. Revelations, it's like Genesis, the 3rd chapter, and I'll start at verse 14. It says, and the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. All right, and if Israel, the nation of Israel, is likened unto a woman, is compared to a woman. All right, the nation of Israel is compared to a woman. All right, so because basically, man, this serpent again, that same spirit, that beguiled Eve is back today. All right, and in the form of Esau, Edom. All right, he's that old serpent that it talks about in Revelations. That old serpent. All right, the devil. All right, the deceiver, the adversary, the accuser of the brethren. All right, this again, because this is that same spirit that was in the garden that beguiled Eve. All right, and ever since then, man, like I said, there will be war. Like it read here, between the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman, which again, representation of the nation of Israel. Jacob and Esau. The classic Jacob and Esau, man. All right, there would always be animosity between both these nations. All right, and like I said, going back to Revelation, all right, because they're getting ready to make war with the saints, man. They're getting ready to make their moves and come down. All right, because hey, man, like I keep saying, if Biden actually gets past inauguration and actually gets in office, man, they could very well do something, they could do anything, man. Anything is up for grabs, man. Being that all hell is getting ready to break loose, man. And Jacob's trouble is damn nearly right around the corner. It's just a matter of what's going to set it off, right? And like I said, man, this could very well be the event to set things off, for Jacob's trouble, because with all the threats that are that could the possible threats come inauguration, man. I mean, because this, like you keep saying, man, this thing could play out a number of ways, man. And all hell, because just did a video about how they gave the troops out there in DC the green light to use lethal force. All right, and they just found someone with fake credentials, and they found someone trying to enter into the Capitol with fake credentials. They said he had handguns and grenades and all this other stuff. All right, so something could go down, man. And martial law could be enacted. I mean, it's just, this thing could play out a number of ways. All right, but nevertheless, man, because the pieces more and more, the pieces are being put together, for these things to come into play. All right, because like I mentioned, this dragon, man, is this is not more than the dragon speaking like a lamb. All right, and had a few precepts on that. Let me get this, Proverbs 29:6. All right, because like I mentioned earlier, Esau's getting ready to set Jake up, man. Here, because I mean, like it's been said before, man, don't be surprised if they start offering money and benefits and things of that nature. All right, for Jake to get these vaccines. Don't be surprised if they offer more stimulus checks, for you to get these vaccines. All right. Proverbs 29:6, it says, in the transgression of an evil man, there is a snare. Because like I said, though they speak peaceably, they come in that humble like spirit. All right. Or they appear to be humble. Right. They appear to be docile. Like I keep mentioning, the dragon speaking like a lamb, in his heart, man, it's war. And in his heart, he's plotting on how to destroy you and get rid of you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Because when has Esau ever given a damn about Jake? All right. But now all of a sudden, this whole pandemic thing, all eyes are on so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All of a sudden they want to help out Jake. They want to get Jake vaccinated first. And Jake is too dumb to understand that, these devils are, they're setting you up, man, to be destroyed, man. Verse 6 again, it says, in the transgression of an evil man, there is a snare. Yeah, because there's another part in the Bible that talks about how these concerning these wicked elites, man, they don't go to sleep without plotting wickedness. They wake up plotting wickedness. All right, it's just wickedness going through their minds around the clock. All right, there's not a righteous bone, there's not a righteous thought when it comes to these devils. All right, so they're constantly plotting, and this is why when you read throughout the songs, like in Psalm 64, King David crying out in the spirit for the Lord to, the King David crying for protection, from these the wicked plots and schemes of these devils. All right, because best believe, man, there's always been a plot. There's always been some wicked devised plan to destroy the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. There's always been some type of plot, always been some type of scheme, all right, against the nation of Israel. All right. It says, but the righteous do sing and rejoice. Yeah, because, concerning the righteous, man, they for the most part, man, concerning the elect, they're not going to have nothing to worry about. All right. Get this. Because, like I mentioned with Jacob and Esau, all right, this great battle that's getting ready to take place, and Esau getting ready to come down with that great wrath, all right. Let me get this, Job 30, verse 10, it says, they abhor me, they flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face. And this is going into Esau, all right, it says, because he has loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle before me. Upon my right hand rise the youth. They push away my feet, and they rise up against me the ways of their destruction. So you see, because again, though they speak peaceably, they speak smooth words. Yeah, we gotta, repair the damage and restore the trust that's been lost with so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians with the, Tuskegee experiments and all the other atrocities. We got to build back the trust with the minority community and whatnot. Right. Nevertheless, all right, in their minds, man, like I said, man, they're plotting to destroy you, because again, they're making it a top priority to vaccinate you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right. And all the stuff, man, everything that they put out there, man, it's nothing but destruction. All right. Esau, he's nothing but a representation of destruction, darkness, death. All right. Where was I at? Verse 13, it says, they mar my path, they set forward my calamity. They have no helper. They came upon me as a wide breaking in of waters. Like Isaiah 59:19, the flood that's getting ready to come in, right? That's when the Lord's going to lift up that standard, all right? Because when Esau comes in, man, they're coming in like madmen, all right? Scriptures talk about how they're not going to spare none. They're not sparing anything. All right, men, women, children, pregnant women, old women. All right, if you don't have the hedge of protection from Yahweh Shemel Shah, man, you're going to be just one of those casualties, man. Because again, when they come in, they're coming hard, they're coming strong, they're coming with, they're not going to be showing no mercy. All right, they're coming with destruction, man. The sword. All right, it says in the desolation, and this is why again, going back to Isaiah 59:19, all right, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, all right, these waters, you could also read about that in Psalms, the 124th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, all right, the proud waters, right? This is why, when they come in, the Lord's going to have to lift up the standard, all right, because, that's just how bad things are going to get, when these devils come in, man, because, we're not going to be able to stand up against these devils when they come in. And this is why the Lord's going to have to lift up the standard and give brothers spiritual powers and things of that nature. All right. We can't compete with Esau and what he's got, his technology and weapons and stuff like that. We just can't compete with it. All right. It says, in the desolation, they rolled themselves upon me. All right. It says, terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my soul as the wind, and my welfare passeth away as a cloud. I know the scripture that I'm looking for is in this chapter. Let me just look on down, bear with me. Verse 29, there it is. It says, I am a brother to dragons. All right, because again, this being Job crying out in the spirit. All right, and again, this is pretty much going into Esau Edom. All right, being a brother to dragons. All right. That serpent, that old serpent that was in the garden, that same serpent, all right, a dragon is a very dreadful creature. A dragon will tear you apart, all right? And Esau is compared to, he's likened unto a dragon. All right, deceptive. All right, and all of the above. It says in a companion to owls. All right, because like I mentioned before, concerning the dragon speaking as the dragon speaking as Slakia, my mind keeps going blank. Speaking of the dragon, speaking as a lamb, speaking docile and whatnot, right? Let me get this in Ecclesiasticus. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Gotta get back on the plantation. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemies, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." All right, because again, concerning Jake, man, Jake put their trust wholeheartedly in Esau and the system and the government and all these other things, man. Like I mentioned before, man, that's going to be to their detriment. All right, that's going to be to their shame and to their demise. All right, because Esau, man, very soon, man, it's going to get to the point where they're not going to give a damn, and they're just going to start showing their true colors. All right, they're going to start showing that they are the devil. All right, so that's why, man, you never trust their enemies. Contrary to what's taught in the world, keep your friends closer and enemies closer. Well, that's contrary to the scriptures. This being one of those scriptures, many scriptures. It talks about never trusting your enemies, man. You want to stay as far away from your enemies as possible, man. All right. Well, verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. All right, because like I compared it, man, that rust, man, that hatred that Esau has for you so-called blessed Hispanics and Native American Indians, man, it's never been, it's always been there. All right, it's never went away. All right, they just hid it. They put on a good facade or whatnot for all these years. All right, but like I said, eventually the time is going to come that their true hatred is going to be shown. They're not going to hide it no more. All right, and when that time comes, because it's going to catch you Jakes off guard. Even though it's been told you for years and for decades and whatnot, starting with the apostles and elders and all the men on down, man. This stuff has been told you. All right. So, because, when this stuff happens, man, and they come in with that great wrath, man, and when they make war and make their moves and whatnot, all right, a lot of you Jakes, man, are going to get caught slipping, even though, the warnings have been put out there for many years, but nevertheless, man, because as humbling, as low and lowly and humble and docile as these guys come off, man, like I just read here, man, you never trust your enemies, man. Always want to, keep an eye, basically, sleep. It's like sleeping with one eye open around these devils, man. Going back to what I read in Job, the 30th chapter, I believe it's the first verse, is first or second verse, somewhere around there. It talks about how these people, man, you can't even leave your dogs around them. All right, because they end up doing some foul, dirty stuff, to the animals, man. These devils aren't to be trusted, man. Whatsoever, by all means, any means necessary. You can't trust these devils. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back on the plantation, man. Just something to look out for, man. This guy's still talking about he's still talking about a dark winter. This he's talking about this operation. One of the hardest operations that, they're going to conduct and whatnot, so something can go down, man, but nevertheless, man, just stay prayed up and hold fast to the faith, man, until the kingdom come. All right. So with that, we give all credit to you. How about Shemel Shai? Double honors to the apostles and others of Great Millstone. And until next time, Lord's will, I say shalom.